people. Hope everyone is good. So in this video, we're going to navigate squad. What do we need from the game and from pre-season? There is clear profiles I still think we need. In this video, we'll go through the transfer strategy in the last few weeks of the window and how crazy it could get and how we need to navigate that to be the most effective and get our targets. But yeah, without any further ado, let's talk about it. Let's go. Now, the most clear and obvious situation for me in this game was the 8 profile. And what is that? It's a tempo dictator midfielder. That's what we need. That's what we need. Our tempo dictation is predominantly done either by one of the centre-backs or Ampadu. He's the guy who dictates in there. He decides how quick the tempo goes, which is fine to an extent, but every player has their own idea of tempo. And I think Ampadu's tempo is good in terms of calming the team and understanding how slow we can be and how quick we can be at times. But I don't think it has that aggressiveness and that decisiveness at times. And this is where you need other bodies, other mouths, other brains in that position to communicate, to decide themselves in which area of the pitch we need to increase the tempo. You know, Ampadu is really good in that 6 role, obviously. There's not an 8 or a 10. But why a guy back there dictates the tempo of what happens further forward on a pitch is just something personally I'm not a huge fan of. I think you need a guy in the middle who can play in either third who dictate the tempo in the final 2/3. And these are the profiles I've gone for. Now, I know you say Mateus Click. I'm not saying signing, by the way. That is the type of player we're looking at here. Remember Mateus Click under Bielsa? He'd have Calvin Phillips, and there was a miscommunication for me when people would say Calvin Phillips dictated the tempo of the game. He didn't. He dictated the build-up in terms of where we start, where we're going with it. Mateus Click dictated the tempo, especially in the final 2/3. In the back third, the defensive third, Calvin Phillips dictated it, or Ben White at times, right? They did. They made that first move. In the second phase of it, it was Mateus Click. He decided everything. You know, he was part of the build-up from deep, from midfield, from the attack. He was part of every section. He was always involved in the build-up, always moving, always progressing the ball, always moving the ball quickly, not holding on to it for too long. Smart player that understood in each third what was required. And that is what we are missing. We are missing that profile. Massively, for me. Huge. Gruev is more of a 6. He doesn't have that. He also doesn't have that dictating side of him where he's going to, decide, right, I'm going to run this tempo. He doesn't have that. He's a very methodical, is that the word? Quiet guy who gets around and does his job, does the simple things very well, can be aggressive in the press, decent defensively. Good ball retainer, but we need someone who's going to do it quickly and aggressively and move around the pitch in that manner. And we don't have it. Mateus Click did that. And that's the profile, or one of the profiles that can do that tempo role. Another one, and these are the names down here, and you've already, Divan Lukic, who we've been linked with. I think he is, to an extent, that guy. You watch him in the thirds, he can play through the thirds. He's always looking to attack. He's always looking to move forward. But also on the ball, he moves it quickly. And that's a key thing. He likes to speed the play up. He likes to go forward with aggression. And at times, this can mean he might try something really aggressive, lose the ball. But that's about shape and that's about off the ball. Ayo Tanaka is the perfect, for me, embodiment of what we need in there, if I'm being honest. He is that Click type player. Not only can he get goal and assists, which is, I guess, is a byproduct of what we need, but also he just dictates the tempo in every sector of the game and he's comfortable. And he's a very smart player who understands what we need, right? He understands it in each section. He would be the key. It's been said that he's staying at Dusseldorf. That's very disappointing for me. I think that's not an easy, but an obvious sell, an obvious buy there for me. I think he'd be an excellent signing for us or anyone, to be honest. And he's the profile we need. Silas Gnaka, again, a guy, Bundesliga 2, more can play that tempo role, but he's more direct, can be more aggressive running with it. I guess he has similarities to the other guys, but he's also got that real drive with the ball as well. Very smart player as well. These are the type of profiles we need. As I said, I've done videos before. Here's the list. Some of these on there would be outstanding for what we need. Nicholas Madsen, Joshua Kitanalo, another guy who I think would be really good at this. There's so many tempo style players in there that dictate the game. You know, I think of the way, you know, O'Brien moved the ball, Tyler Morton at Hull last season. That guy, we need that type of player for me. And missing it is so key in our build up. So key. So that would be the first thing. That would be the first thing we need to solve. Again, we'll talk about the next thing right now, which is the winger profile. Losing Crescencio Somerville, we need to replace the winger profile. This will take longer for me. The point is, I think we need an 8 profile more urgently because we don't have that profile at the club. We still have very good wingers at the club who can play that role well. We don't have the 8 that can do the role we need for me. With good 8s, Ruffwell's a good 8. I know people will mention Ruffwell. I like Ruffwell. I think he's a good squad player. I don't think he's that game dictating 8 that we need right now, if I'm being honest. I'd like someone a little younger who maybe is bought by the club, so can be the future in that role as well. But yeah, winger profile. Who replaces Somerville? By the time this goes out, who knows what's happened with Johnny Rowe? He would be an obvious option, obviously, but I need to clarify this. And this is what annoys me, to be honest, at times. I can't lie, sorry. We lose one player. Saki goes, everyone goes crazy. There is more than one exceptional winger that Leeds United can sign in that role, trust me. There is many. The list here I've got that I've done in my previous video are some of those guys who could be that person. Maybe bar Mikey Johnson and Jack Clark, who would be too much money, maybe Whitaker as well. But there's some very good players out there who I think could fit that role. Move my head a little bit. Sanjay Hansen is my number 1. I know the club are interested in him. I think he's maybe 3rd in the list. And people take that as well as if he's 3rd on the list, that's terrible. That's transfer. That's how it works. Every club is exactly the same. You're not top of the food chain. There is someone higher up in the food chain who wants that exceptional talent more than you because they have more money. They have more pull. We're a championship side. We don't have unlimited funds to spend on transfers. I know people talk about, we sold this much. Look, it's when people talk about finances and that's boring. We will spend what we have available. Why would we not? We want the best profiles. We want to go to the Premier League. We will get what we think we can for the right price, the right value. If a player costs 2 million in the Eredivisie, and then they're asking for 18, 17, 15 million for Johnny Rowe, and you think the guy in the Eredivisie, Hansen, can be just as good as Johnny Rowe, why the hell would you pay 15 million? You know, the ideal situation is Johnny Rowe. He's playing the Championship. He did it in the Championship. He has a very high ceiling. We've seen he can do it at this level. That's why he's number 1 on the list. But Sanjay Hansen might be 2 or 3 on the list. I was looking at Ramzani as well down there because they've not done it at this level. They've done it in different leagues. There's always that question. They're not worse players, people. If they're in the final shortlist, and this is what people need to clarify, if they're in that final shortlist, everyone in that shortlist is a good top target that Leeds United want. If you don't get to the final shortlist, you're bad. There might be outstanding players in that shortlist, but like I said, those outstanding players also have clubs higher up than us that want them. And that comes down to where they are. We're ambitious to want Johnny Rowe. That is very ambitious. I'd argue no other club in the Championship would get Johnny Rowe. The fact that we're targeting him is ambition. But we can't hold on for that too long. So we might lose our 3, 2, 3, 4 targets. And that's the key part. You lose Johnny Rowe, you spend too long on that. And then you try to go for a Ramzani or a Hansen, they've already gone. That's the struggle you're in. Then you're panicking. So there's got to be a limit for Johnny Rowe. They truly think they can get him, excellent, and the club will do that. If they think it's going to take too long, Marseille want him, the discussions are going to take weeks and weeks, it's going to push us to the end of the market, we can't do the rest of our business, our other targets are going to go, that's when you're in trouble. People need to calm down and relax. There's more than one good winger who can do exceptional for us this season. Anyone in that final shortlist is a top option for us. That's what I'll say on the winger. That's a key aspect we need to think. And then it comes down to this for me. Key retentions. We've got to keep our key players. It's all right bringing good players in, but can we keep Junior Firpo? Can we keep Rutter? Can we keep Nonto? Can we keep Foba? Because no matter what anyone says, if Foba is willing to stay, and that's the metric, we have to keep him. He's an excellent player to have at this level. Whether that's on the bench or not, he shouldn't be a bench player. And that makes me think why he might not stay. But if he knows that and has accepted that, and he stays at least till January, that's an excellent option to have if you have any injuries. An excellent option. Of course it is. I don't even talk about Nonto and Rutter. Key at this level. Joke players, too good for the league, need to be kept. Same for Firpo. Unbelievable attacking output we get from Junior Firpo. Leadership. Knows the system extremely well now. We need to keep them retentions. That is the key part of it. And then it comes on to this. And that says replacement below my head, by the way. Backup options and replacements. So if a player did go, Bashi Humphries. Woba goes, Bashi Humphries comes in. Good option to have. Young player, a very high ceiling. Can play either side of that centre-back partnership and also a left-back as well, although ideally centre-back replacement. But versatility, young player, played at this level, works. Garcia McNulty, again, Firpo did leave, or even if he stays, we need a backup. Can he do that role for this season? Really develop. Might get minutes. Harry's Campbell, winger at Charlton, really like him, top player for me, top young player. Won't be expected to start, but will get minutes. Is talented, a different option to what we have. Femi Aziz, also in that mould, linked with, I think, Millwall. Good backup players. They don't need to be world beaters at this point, but they need to be good options, different options that we don't have on the bench. That's the next step. And then you wait for this bit. Premier League squads to be announced. The 25 Premier League squads, when they get announced, there will be players available that you go, ooh, Brooks from Bournemouth, for example. You know, there's so many players that won't get in their Premier League squads. Them players obviously are not going to want to stay or whatever. They're going to try to get sold. The last week of the market then becomes, right, who of these can we get in? You know, do we have a squad space left? Can we fit this profile? This is where the loans might come in. Can we get this loan here to be a squad option? And if you've done your prior business and you're ready, you're not rushing or panicking into getting a loan. You can take your time and understand and evaluate the situation and go, yeah, we can get one of these players. You know? So that's where that comes into it. But yeah, that's it, people. There's no need to panic. We are trying to replace a big person here. Somerville, huge. And we are being ambitious by going for Johnny Rowe. No other club in the Championship is doing that. That's ambition. This isn't easy. Stop thinking it's easy. It isn't. Trust me. It's difficult. If you want a good player, the calibre of Johnny Rowe, who could play in the Premier League, who could play in the top tier of France, Germany, you will have players, you will have teams in the top tier of France, Germany, the Premier League, that want Johnny Rowe, who have more money, who have more pull, who play in a better league, better for his future. The fact that we're in the conversation is ambitious. That's ambition. But that makes it difficult. And that's where there's a limit. Can't spend too long. If we lose out to Marseille, what can you do? It's Marseille. They're a top tier and they've built a good squad there. They'll be at the top of the French league. We're in the Championship. Good league. General's played in it. Going for a team under De Zerbi who could be in the Champions League next season. It's ambitious. But anyone we get who's part of that list is a good option to have. That's why they're part of the final shortlist. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Outstanding target. It's ambitious and it's tough to get. Very tough to get. But let's see what happens. But it's not the end of the world if we don't. There's very good options out there. But we need to be concise. We need to be quick. We need to move smart. We need to pay the right amount. We need to get the right profiles for the manager. And then we'll be ready to go. Because there's clear profiles missing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I appreciate all the support as usual. After today, I've got more moving stuff today. Again. But after today, it'll be finished. that chapter is done. I will reply to comments from the game match reaction yesterday. I apologise. It's just I'm just really busy, people. But yeah, I appreciate you all. Thanks for subbing and all that. Thanks for commenting. You're all legends, honestly. Just be patient with me. I'm trying. It's really tough at the moment. I can't lie. But yeah, in a bit, guys.